Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 21st of January 1980, and the title is The Method to Reveal the Father. Today, Bab Dada is seeing the practical embodiments of God's knowledge. He is seeing the double form of the children. One form is a few children who are Maya proof, and the other form is the proof of your elevated life, your Brahmin life, your highest and high alokik life, your godly life. The proof of this elevated knowledge is your elevated life. So, Baba was seeing the double proof children. By constantly considering yourself to be a practical example or proof of godly knowledge, you will constantly remain Maya-proof. If there is any weakness in the visible example, then no one you challenge would accept that this is God's knowledge. Because in today's age of science, people want to see the practical example or proof before they believe it. They do not believe it just by hearing or being told about it. In order to have the faith that this is God's knowledge, they want to see the practical proof. The practical proof is the life of all of you. Your life should be able to reveal the specialty that none of the great or wise souls have been able to show or create in their own life up to now. Things that were impossible have been made possible by you practical examples of God's knowledge. The greatest impossibility that you have made practical is to live at home together and yet remain totally beyond through your attitude. To live together at home and yet remain beyond your body and bodily relations. To remain beyond your old attitude means to remain detached from your past attitude. This is known as having an attitude beyond. You are not really living in your household, pravruti, but having an attitude that is beyond vruti. While you see the body, you are only aware of the soul. While coming into contact with your physical relations, you maintain a brotherly relationship. It means while having to look at the things of this old world through the eyes of your old body, you do not see anything. Those who live in their household in this way, that is, those who lead a completely pure life, are said to be the proof of God's knowledge, whereas even Mahatmas believe that this is impossible. Those who are following this knowledge given by God experience this to be very easy. They say that it is impossible, whereas you say that it is very easy. You don't just say this, but you do this in practice and become an example for the world. Even now, the first and second numbered beads of the Rosary of Devotees feel that it is extremely difficult to attain God. They wonder whether they will attain God even after many births. They don't think that even this can definitely happen. They consider a vision of 1 second to be a great attainment. They consider it impossible for God to belong to them in a practical way or for God to make them belong to Him. They say that this is practically impossible and become disheartened. However, none of you think of this as being impossible, but you all sit at home and claim your rights as you do every kalpa. They believe it is impossible to meet God, whereas you consider it to be your right to meet God. A life in which you have all rights is a life that is full of all treasures given by God. This life that you actually experience is a special example and proof of God's knowledge. To say God means to say Father, and the proof of a relationship with the Father is an inheritance. The relationship between you great and enlightened souls is one of brothers. Those people have no relationship with the Father and therefore have no inheritance. You great and enlightened souls are brothers. You are not the Father. This is why, even though they are searching for their imperishable inheritance, they are unable to attain it. Your life in which you attain this inheritance easily proves that this is God's knowledge. This imperishable knowledge and the experienced life of attainment can reveal God. Therefore, you are the special examples. Do you have the determination to reveal the Father in the new year? All of you have this determination, do you not? So, the way to reveal the Father is to become the double proof. So, check yourself to see whether the practical proof of your purity and attainment is imperishable. Limited souls are only able to give limited attainments, whereas the Eternal Father gives an imperishable attainment. A meeting with God and the specialty of God's knowledge is imperishable. So you are imperishable, are you not? Although you say that you are effort makers, the specialty of attaining from God is that as soon as you make effort, you receive the reward of that in practice. It is not that your confluence aged life alone is your life of making effort, and that your golden age life is your life of experiencing the reward. The specialty of the confluence age is that when you take one step, you receive a reward of 1,000 steps. In no other age do you have the fortune of receiving multi-million-fold return of one. This line of your fortune is drawn by Baba, the bestower of fortune himself, through Father Brahma. This is why Brahma is also known as the bestower of fortune. You experience making effort and receiving the reward simultaneously. In fact, to attain the Father at this time is a far greater reward than that of the Golden Age. The reward you receive at the present time is to have all your relationships directly with God, whereas that future reward is to have your relationships with deity souls. You do understand the difference, do you not? You have also been told the difference between your present attainment and your future attainment. Do you take every step while considering yourself to be someone with an elevated reward, not just someone who is simply making effort? Simply to say that you are an effort maker means to become careless and thus deprive yourself of your reward and attainment. Constantly remain aware of your reward in front of you. By remaining aware of your reward, your stage will easily ascend. You should definitely constantly remain embodiments of the awareness of the specialties of the confluence age, and you will thereby become special souls. While moving along, some children find this path to be difficult. Sometimes they feel it is easy, and at other times they feel it is difficult. Sometimes they dance in happiness, and at other times they feel hopeless and just sit down. Sometimes they sing praise of the Father, and at other times they just sing why and what. Sometimes they turn the beads of the rosary of pure thoughts and the attainment of all treasures, and at other times, when influenced by the storms of waste thoughts, they turn the beads of the rosary of it's difficult, it's difficult. What is the reason for this? They consider themselves to be simply effort makers and forget the reward. They still keep in front of themselves the things they should have left behind, and they still leave behind the things they should have taken with them. You have to put the things you have to renounce behind you and keep the things you have to take in front of you. You would never step backwards when you take something. You would always step forward. To remain aware of taking means to remain present in front of the Father. Instead of renouncing, the praise you sing is far louder. I have done this. I am doing this. I am going to do this. You think far more about all of that than of what you are receiving or what reward you are creating for yourself. This is why the weight of all your waste becomes much heavier than the weight of your pure thoughts. Then instead of your stage ascending, you are automatically brought down by that burden and your stage descends. You then forget how to sing the song, I have attained everything I wanted to attain. When you forget this song, you start to choke in many various ways. When you continue to sing that song, your choking and dozing will both stop. The worldly songs keep you awake, do they not? Therefore, continue to sing this imperishable song. I have attained everything I wanted to attain. And dance in the intoxication of your attainment. Stop choking and dozing and continue to sing and dance. Those who are double proof are the double examples who will reveal the Father. The way to reveal the Father is to become a living mobile museum of the practical proof and a mobile projector. Become a live exhibition for good character development. There can be many such exhibitions and museums at many different places. Then there will be less expenditure and greater result of service. You yourself should become the exhibition as well as the guide. Nowadays, people have mobile libraries and exhibitions. If all of you Brahmins were to become mobile exhibitions and museums, revelation would very soon take place. Do you understand? This year, so many moving mobile exhibitions and projectors should travel everywhere in the world that they will become economical advertisements. You will not have to spend anything, but people will come forward to meet your expenses. Then, Instead of incurring expense, you will receive a reward. Gujarat is very large. Its population is large in any case. Now, become big in a practical way and show everyone. The land of Gujarat is fertile. Powerful seeds are sown where the land is fertile. Powerful seeds means seeds of higher quality souls. Therefore, sow the seeds of the higher quality souls and let the fruit emerge. Fruit-bearing land means land that gives the highest quality fruit. The quality is very good. You also have quality, but there should now be much more quality. Each quality soul has to give the proof of creating an heir. Such souls can easily emerge in Gujarat. The quantity has increased, so the heirs have become hidden. Now reveal them. Do you all from Gujarat understand what you have to do? Others will bring souls into contact, but you should enable souls to forget a relationship and you will become number one. You have been told the plan for this year. Up to now, you have been busy in increasing the numbers. When the variety tree grows, its seed disappears. But at the end, you are left with the seeds again. You have become busy with the increasing quantity. Now, once again, let the seeds, that is, the higher quality souls, emerge. Whatever you did at the beginning, you now have to do that again. To those who constantly dance in happiness and sing songs of their attainment, to those who experience the practical reward of what they do, to those who make themselves into practical examples and thereby reveal the Father, to the elevated souls who are double proof, Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and Namaste. Bap Dada meeting groups. 1. Your aim in this Brahmin life is to change from an ordinary human being into Lakshmi or Narayan. So, do you constantly remain aware of your future deity image with all the divine virtues? You should never forget your aim. Do you constantly remain aware of your image of the embodiment of all divine virtues? The image shown of Lakshmi is of the goddess of wealth, and the image shown of Narayan is Lord of the kingdom. Lakshmi is called the goddess of wealth, not physical wealth, but the goddess of the wealth of knowledge. All of you are also goddesses of wealth, are you not? A goddess of wealth would be constantly full of all treasures. What has each of you been receiving as your birthright from the moment that you took birth as a Brahmin? You have been receiving the treasures of knowledge and power. So, do you keep what is rightfully yours with you, or do you keep it in the bank? If you keep it in the bank, you do not experience happiness. To keep your jewels in the bank means not to use them, but to put them away. The more you use them, the greater the happiness you will experience. There is no danger in keeping these jewels with you, since you have to become great donors and bestowers of blessings. How can you keep them in a locker? Therefore, every day examine the jewels you have received and use them for yourself and others. To be a great donor means to be constantly donating. To do this one day, but not again until a month later, is not called being a great donor. To be a great donor means to be constantly donating. It means to be constantly overflowing. Just as Baba's treasure store continues to overflow, he gives you treasures every day. So, it is you children's duty to give treasures to others every day also. When you keep this treasure store open, thieves will not enter. But if you keep it closed, thieves will break in. The greater the number of locks that are created, the greater the number of thieves there will be. Previously, when there weren't that many thieves, your treasures used to remain unlocked. So, your treasure store should remain constantly open. Put a full stop to everything that has happened up to now. Do not think about what happened in the past. This is known as making intense effort. When you think of the past, you waste your time, energy, and thoughts. There is now no longer any time to waste anything. If you waste 2 moments or even 2 seconds of the confluence age, then you have wasted many years. Do you know the value of the confluence age? How many years is 1 second of the confluence age equal to? So, you wouldn't have wasted just 1 or 2 seconds, but many years. Therefore, now put a full stop. Those who know how to put a full stop will remain constantly full. 2. Do you constantly make others progress through your good wishes? No matter what souls are like, you must constantly have good wishes for them. Good wishes will bring you success. Have you experienced serving through your good wishes? To have good wishes means to be merciful. Baba has mercy for those who defame him. Similarly, no matter what the soul is in front of you is like, you can transform that soul with your merciful attitude and good wishes. Since scientists are able to transform a desert into farmland with their power of science, can those who have the power of silence not transform this world? Even just a thought can create a world. Therefore, constantly have good wishes to transform this world. Continue to transform the world with the vibrations of your ascending stage. Through your self-transformation, the world will automatically be transformed. You are those who plow the earth, not those who become tired. Those who plow the fields are tireless. They are able to transform barren land into green pastures. Therefore, do not become disheartened. When you remain happy-hearted, your happiness will automatically attract everyone. 3. By considering yourselves to be the unknown, but very well-known warriors on the battlefield, are you constantly able to conquer Maya while sitting, eating, and doing everything in an ordinary way? And while walking and moving around, you are battling with Maya and becoming victorious. Externally, you may appear to be doing nothing, but internally, you are attaining victory over Maya and claiming your kingdom. Therefore, this is what makes you unknown. When revelation takes place, everyone who sees you will ponder who you are and what you are doing. Victory is guaranteed for those who remain in the company of the Almighty Authority. The Lord of the Pandavas was the Almighty Authority, and this was why the Pandavas were constantly victorious. Never let go of this company. When you become alone, Maya can attack you. When you remain with the Father, Maya will have to surrender herself to you. Maya has to become the servant to you, conquerors of Maya, and has to salute you. Do not let go of Baba, your companion in the Mela, fair of Maya. When you let go of your companion, you will lose your way and will have to cry out. Constantly make Maya salute you. Do not let Maya attack you. Blessing. May you be a soul who experiments with the power of knowledge and yoga on the basis of light. Just as science is able to use physical light, electricity, in many different ways, so too, use your enlightenment of God's imperishable light, your light of soul consciousness, and the light of your practical stage to experiment with the powers of knowledge and yoga. When your stage and form are double light, your experiments easily become successful. When each of you begins to experiment with yourself, a powerful gathering of experimenting souls can be created. Slogan: by constantly remaining aware that there is nothing new, you will continue to remain unshakable and dance in happiness. Om Shanti.